And we're off. The uncle being a little pessimistic.
Just a measly $5 for us to go on our way. To start our journey with just $5.
We do that another, like, 1,000 times, we could buy Zora's item. I think it's funny. You can always recognize the NMG runners by how they walk up to that hole. Fire Rod from the uncle. Fire Rod's not bad.
Yep, you just have to learn how to conserve your energy. Because your magic is kind of there.
Yeah, so Fire Rod is like it's the farthest on the spectrum of power. It's going to one-shot everything that they need to kill, but at the same time, you're very limited on how many shots you have to fire. So farming for bombs can be very difficult here. Ideally, you like kill guards and ropes and rats with like multiple with one shot. And knowledge of where the magic drops are in the sewers is very helpful. And El Tiger already getting a bomb, so he does not have to worry about that for the rest of this escape. Bungie gets one as well. Bungie does throw a pot at that blue guard, but unfortunately, if the guard falls off the ledge, he does not give you a drop.
I always wonder where those pits go. Because there's not... What more can be beneath Hyrule Castle?
The bowels of Hyrule. Hyrule Castle is basically Mount Doom. No small key in those first 3 chests. So the small key will be in its vanilla location in the sewers. If any player was in trouble and used too many shots, they could save and quit after picking up Zelda. I think they get 3 shots, but that won't be necessary for any of our runners today. Personally, I'm not a very big fan of the standard game mode. Like I don't like playing it very much because it feels like the first 6 minutes of the game don't really change. But it can be a lot of fun sometimes if you get like a really awkward weapon to start with, like Cane of Burna. A nice full magic drop for Punchy. Oh, go ahead.
So you can also have weird occurrences where you get like the hammer and the glove in the escape sequence, and then the entire game just becomes, where's my mint pearl? And then the second you find that, the game just blows open and you're like, okay, now I've got so many places to check.
So we have Chisame off to a pretty good lead here in the sewers. But he is the only runner who has not found a bomb yet. He'll probably farm some ropes here. No? He's not worried about bombs, I think.
I mean, it is only 3 checks. You can come back for them later. It's not too much of a time
Yeah,
sink.
definitely. The only danger is that if the only logically accessible gloves are in the back of Escape, he will have to go all the way back through the sewers to get to them. And Eltiger checks it for us, and there is nothing in the back of Escape, so Chisame will be fine.
So more bombs, thankfully enough. We'll use them in Kakariko.
Very nice, yes. It does cost a little bit of time for Chisame to have to come back later rather than getting it now, but it's very small. And he did a map check, and I missed every last bit of it. Awesome. Did you see anything?
Looked like all 3 of them were crystals, and Eastern Palace was actually one of our 5-6 combo for activating the big bomb.
Chisame is noping out of the lumberjack check. He'll do it later, I'm sure, with the boots. He does get that tier 2 tree pull first, and it is 20 rupees for a total of 80.
So we can combine that with our 300 we got earlier in the middle of Escape, so hopefully Zora won't be too much of an issue for a run.
Definitely. And from Chisame's point of view, he has plenty of rupees to just buy some bombs. Now, Sign Nubs does check the lumberjack. What do we got today? Just some bombs.
Yeah, so we have check confirming the 3 crystals are in. There's 3 crystals in the Light World, and Eastern is definitely a 5-6.
3 crystals in the Light World is a very good sign for things to come. The fastest seeds almost always have pendants on like the really long dungeons.
There's a hammer awaiting in Blaine's hut for us, and the lamp. And a mushroom.
And Chisame unfortunately forgot to buy bombs, or at least chose not to buy bombs before doing this, so I'll have to double dip blindside out to get that last chest.
Yeah, it's likely you come into Blaine's hut expecting to get bombs and not like good items.
Yeah, it's not a crazy gamble to just hope that you'll get bombs in one of those chests. Like, he just did it in the well and he did get bombs. But I would think with so many rupees in hand that he would have just bought bombs and been sure of it.
Again, I think the amount of time you waste going down to get bombs and coming back up is just, it's the same amount of time it would take you to risk getting the bombs in the first place.
So no especially weird routing from anybody. Everybody's going straight to Kakariko after the escape. This is pretty standard. Sometimes you'll see people do like a hula hand check or check the Lost Woods and then save and quit to Link's house.
Oh, swingy on the Battle Merchant. So that's a first sword.
I just noticed on Sign Nub's sprite on the map, it's a cherry from Pac-Man.
If Signum managed to find his red mail, we'll be getting a guest appearance from all 3 of those ghosts. We did manage to find blue mail in the back of Blaine's hut, so that'd be nice safety to have early on.
Oh, definitely. Especially once we get to the Dark World, where everything starts hitting for like 3 and 4 hearts on green mail. Having those mail upgrades makes the game so much safer.
Just
The
a
mail
full heart
upgrades,
container on library.
yeah, in the library. The mail upgrades are one of the reasons why the NMG run can feel so daunting to a new runner. Like being on green mail the whole run, it's very dangerous.
Yeah, Link to the Past is one of those proper difficulty curves where once you get to the Dark World, it goes up, and then once you hit Ice Palace, it gets significantly more difficult, which is why they sort of pop in that mail upgrade vanilla in there.
So Chisame is opting to go down to the dam and likely to South Shore after, but El Tigre over here is going to Sahasrara. So 11 minutes in, we already have our first major divergence.
It's quite an interesting play because normally I would like to go around and make sure like I've checked everywhere I could check that potentially might have the ball, because then you wouldn't have to double dip Eastern. But I think it's getting to the point where now it's like you're pretty much expected to double dip Eastern.
Yeah, it can be a pretty significant time loss if, say, the bow is in Mini Moldorm Cave for El Tigre. But at the same time, like if Dark World Access was in Mini Moldorm Cave, right? And but there was like another really nice progression item in Eastern, not behind the bow, that can be really good for Tigre.
And we did see from Shahashala that Ice Palace is a green pendant. And we also find a blue boomerang on the back door.
And the flute.
Did I just see a flute? And
yeah, we saw a flute, hookshot, and master sword in Mini Moldorm Cave. Mini Moldorm is the new hype cave, confirmed.
We're getting
it
a lot of
definitely
items
looks like
here.
an Agassi, doesn't it? So the Master Sword and Lamp, that's Aga access, right? And then with the hookshot and the gloves, that gives you access to West Dark World from Aga. But with the hammer in hand, all they need is a Moon Pearl. So unless Moon Pearl is on the pyramid, Aga will not be required this seed.
Nope, they do have plenty of places to check as well, because that flute opens up Death Mountain, and then the hookshot allows you to get over to the East Death Mountain check.
Oh, they don't have gloves. My bad. Yeah, I don't know. This really looks like an Agassi to me.
I mean, don't rule it out just yet, because there are still a number of checks to do.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So there's a potential for
checks on East Death Mountain. And Bungie getting us the early Aegina's Cave. So Aegina's Cave by itself, at this point in the game, is a really inefficient check. It takes a long time to walk over here and bomb the wall and go in there and check that.
Finds the red cane for
progression. If it's progression, that's a very nice find for Bungie, because it's very unlikely that our other runners are going to do that in any time soon.
LT, we're getting a hint that the hookshot is in Mini Moldorm Cave in Eastern.
Thanks, Eastern.
Maybe debating to himself whether or not this risk was actually worth it now. God, I really don't like finding red Cayman Agina, because at this point in time, it's not that much of a benefit to them. There's nothing they can immediately use it on. So there's no telling how much time he's actually saved going and finding it quick.
Yeah, it could be
just checking it while he's in the desert.
If they find like the mirror in the midst of the other runners to find mirror midst, they'll probably check Agina from the Dark World and just get the cane anyway. But say if like the mirror was locked behind the cane, you can get bottlenecked by Agina really easily. The Quake is in Palace of Darkness. Nice bomb jump from Chisame. It saves a little time over saving and quitting, although now he's on 2 hearts instead of 3.
That looked like a half magic on top of Spectacle Rock. Very
Yeah,
nice
definitely a
utility
nice
item to
item.
have.
Unfortunately for Tiger, Eastern was pretty empty, so he'll have to make up that time somehow. Bungie activating his flute.
Yep, we'll likely be following Chisame and Signums up towards Death Mountain, and there's our Moon Pearl.
And that is technically Dark World access. But it's Dark World access through Aga, and nobody really wants to do Aga. Because it's such a big gamble to just do Aga when there's other things available. Because you never know. Like, the gloves might
It's
just
quite the
be
time suit, yeah. You have to sink a good, like, 6-7 minutes into getting through Aga. And that's even assuming you've got, in this case, Master Sword, so your damage is pretty much your standard vanilla at this point. You suppose you could use Hammer to use temper damage on some of the enemies.
Yeah, I think without boots, it's probably about 6 minutes.
Chisame has the Pearl just now, and Signums is about to pick up their Pearl because it's in the top part of Paradox Gate.
The hint in Hera was a heart container and a unique item, left side swamp.
There's Temper Sword.
Sorry. And I believe that we are fire locked here in Tower of Hera. Chisame will have to pick and choose which of these many fire items in his inventory will he use. No coffee break, unfortunately.
Yep, no real way to do it except from using bombs, and probably want to save the bombs at this point.
Tigger turns in his mushroom and gets a heart piece. No hard reset. It will be without mushroom moving forward. Chisame is setting up to death warp out of here. He wasn't being bad, you guys. He was trying to take damage. It's true.
So the slight problem with having those mail upgrades, trying to death work is kind of annoying.
The tiles help, definitely.
Signum's finding the ice rod inside Spiral Cave. Definitely another nice to have item at this point.
And it's in a location that, while nobody is going to intend to skip it, it can be really easy to accidentally skip Spiral Cave. Like, Chisame did not do Spiral Cave before coming over to Hera, and he probably intends to go back to Spiral Cave, but say if there was like a really nice progression item on Moldorm, right? It's easy to get excited and just save and quit. And maybe forget
potential for coming across gloves, and then it's like, oh, that's Dark World access. I'll just fly away.
Yeah, you just
go check Dark World. Oh wait,
I've definitely done that before. Or even if it's, say, like the cape for Caneburna, and then he's thinking, oh, I can do Spike Cave now. But then he kind of has to choose between one or the other. Just a piece of heart, though. I think he'll remember.
Chesame drawing first blood of the seed by killing off Trolldorm.
Do caterpillars have blood, do you think?
I would imagine so.
Squish a lot of caterpillars, do you?
Well, I mean, it's a living thing, and most living things have blood going through them. I mean, last I checked, caterpillars are not just tiny robots running around the environment.
I'm not so sure.
Skynet's actual plan is to send back animals and slowly replace them all with robotic versions without us knowing.
Starting with the caterpillars.
Yeah, they seen us watch the Terminator movies and then went, hang on, that's not going to work anymore. We need a new plan.
Shisume does remember to do Spiral Cave. He gets his ice rod. And with that Kane and Nagina's cave and knowledge that Quake is in that one place, Palace of Darkness, you know, that's only minutes away from potentially doing Turtle Rock. Fun.
And Chesame not handing in his mushroom.
And like El Tiger, he's not going to soft reset here. Oh, he is. Did he save and quit? I must have missed him saving and quitting. So Chisume does a soft reset after turning in the mushroom and saying that it's nothing. So that way he'll be able to maintain having the mushroom, giving him the option to fake powder later for a magic bat or just for safety in a dungeon if he needs to.
The trick, of course, requiring the red cane, which we know is in Nagina's cave. So he has hammer, and he has the potential to go and get it, so he could actually go and do magic bat right now. He would, of course, have to drain his magic bar, which is kind of a precious resource.
Yeah, especially when you're looking at going up Aga Tower right now. The Fire Rod is pretty helpful. Although he does have Tempered Sword, so it's not as needed.
Yep, because I believe we are running out of possible locations to check.
I think
So
we're
Aga
out,
may be the
actually.
next play.
I think Aga is the play. Unless there's something sequence broken from Flippers.
I don't remember seeing Ice Rod Cave.
Oh, you're right, yeah. Usually people do it like right after Mini Moldarm Cave. I guess he just put it off.
I think I may have been finding Flute. Immediately just go and activate Flute.
Yeah, when Flute and Mini Moldarm Cave, I go activate the Flute and then I just fly to Ice Rod Cave. Just
Find a bomb.
bombos. So that's not helpful for Dark World access, but, you know, nice.
It may turn up later on that we might need it.
So that does confirm that Aga is logically required.
Chesame, of course, going to do a fake flipper. Maybe check Hobo.
This makes a lot of sense. It's 4 or 5 checks that he can do.
Yep, because he's got the Moon Pearl, so he can do the waterfall walk on water glitch to get those 2 checks. And then he can walk to see what's on Zor's Ledge and also go and talk to the scam artist.
Yeah, it's not terribly unlikely that there's a mitts behind the flute or something, or behind the flippers. But I wouldn't expect him to be able to sequence break Aga here. But you never know what you're going to find. So at this point for Chisume, who's the only player to not do Back of Escape, he might be really worried that there's gloves back there. So from his point of view, it's either gloves in back of escape or Aga's just required.
So the debate is the time sink of going back through the sewers to get those 3 checks versus the like 6 or 7
Aga. Yeah.
to go through Aga. Yeah, I imagine he'll make the Aga play.
Yeah, I think the Aga play makes the most sense here. Like once you've orphaned that location, you can't. Admitting that, you know what, there was something there all along is already a loss. You've already lost too much time. So at that point, you really just need there to be nothing there, and so you have to assume that there was nothing there.
Just a little bit of love.
And Chisume's going to the castle. I think he also hasn't been in Eastern. Like, he dipped out after the hospital, I believe.
Yeah, he went to Shashel and just floated away.
Just go to Aga. Go to Aga, Chisume. Oh, no!
He's getting baited.
So this is really unfortunate for Chisume, because he's going to spend quite a bit of time going all the way to the back of Escape to get those 3 items that he was unable to get before. Only to find out that he could have just avoided it completely.
It's one of those things, though, it will linger in the back of your head and it will nag you until you realise, fine, I'll just go check it. And then it turns out doing nothing, and you're like, God damn it. It's just never that good of a feeling.
He's setting up to Death Warp after these chests, so he'll probably do Aga like right after. I can understand why he's worried about this, but from like a racing point of view, I think it makes the most sense for him to just assume it was nothing and just do Aga. Go big or go home, as it were. When he gets the full heal. Oh, poor Chisume.
That is the worst piece of heart you can get.
Feels bad, man. So for those who didn't understand what happened there, Chisume was taking damage intentionally all the way back to the escape, the back of an escape, so that he could quickly die and do Aga right after. And the piece of heart that he happened to find in the back full healed him, which made Death Warping slower than just saving and quitting. All right, he's making the play now, though.
It looks like ALTTP will be joining him shortly.
Fire Rod, pretty good.
Yeah, combination of Temper Sword plus Fire Rod. This should be relatively quick climb.
Bungie making some mistakes there in the Stalfos room in Eastern. If he does it properly, only 2 Stalfos will spawn. Sign Nubs, however, he only has a Guinness Cave left, and he does not want to do Aga, so he'll go over there and find out it's just Kena Samaria, which, while very nice for him, does mean he will have to do Aga anyway.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense to do this play because you're missing one major point of progression, and it's 1 check. Chances are it's there.
Synubs, I think, is turning in the mushroom. Yeah, that's what he's doing. It's faster for him to take the whirlpool by Link's house, but he would have to do a fake flipper to do it. So a little bit of time loss on turning in this mushroom.
I'm surprised he doesn't just float there.
Oh yeah, he has the flute. Well, okay. Just forgot, I suppose. There's a lot of pressure on these runners, you know. When you're in such a big race and you think, you know, every little thing matters, suddenly you start forgetting little things.
I mean, it's not even just the pressure of the race, it's just maybe the last like 10, 15 seeds he's done, he's never found the flute. So again, it really early, you just completely forget you have it.
Oh, definitely. Or like a seed where you find like the boots really late and you forget that you have them after you found them. I've seen that before where somebody finds the boots and then doesn't use them for a good 5 minutes. All the blue balls. Don't die, Chisame.
There's nothing worse than dying in this fight because of
So-
all the time it takes to climb it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think that was five blue balls? Of course, everybody will have the exact same Aga fight. That's the way the randomizer was designed. And we get a bottle on Pyramid. Gloves on Sick Kid. Anybody?
Yep,
Wheeler?
have to come
Wheeler?
back out to go to Sick Kid to get your progression now.
Of course, with Hammer and Hookshot, they all have the capability of going west to Village of Outcasts from here. Although, honestly, I think probably going to Hype Cave first makes more sense to me. But I can definitely see doing this, especially with the fire on in hand, and the hammer means that you can full clear both Skullwoods and Thieves Town. The bad part of this is going this way pretty much orphans Catfish. Altiger realizes that, I think. I'm not sure what he's doing. Okay, he figured out he has the hammer.
I'm not gonna lie, I've done this before.
I think he confused
Came
himself.
up here without gloves and just went, I can't get past there, and then walked away and then
He's
went,
like,
no,
oh,
wait, hammer.
I need gloves. No.
That's a mistake you feel in the morning. You're like, oh, wait, I can use hammer.
I thought maybe he realized, oh wait, Hype Cave.
So Jen pointed out a good point. They can't actually check Catfish because they don't have gloves.
Right, that's why I was thinking maybe you'd want to go to Hype Cave first, so that if there were happening to be gloves in Hype Cave, you would be able to check Catfish on your way to the hookshot spot. Or not really on the way, but, you know, closer than any other time you'd go to Catfish. But both of our players who finished Aga headed into Skullwoods. I believe we saw a shovel on Bumper Cave, and pendants in Skullwoods Swamp, and red crystal in Pod. Chisame noping out of Skullwoods. I don't believe he got 2 items.
I know he got one, which was the bug net, which ALTTP just picked up. I don't remember seeing the other item, but it may be a case of they've picked up the pendant music in the background and just went, nah, we'll not do it.
It's not too gambly because he does have the fire on already, so whenever he's ready to come back, he can finish it. Tiger will definitely be at least checking the vanilla big key chest, which is a really quick check when you have the Canis Maria. While Chisame dips into Thieves Town. Now this is a crystal and he can full clear it, so I'll expect him to do so. Just a map in that big key chest. Will Tiger go on to the back to Pendant Maw? Yes, he will.
And Chesame finding the red mail inside Thieves Town, so definitely a very safe to see in this case.
Oh, wow. Red mail and red sword. We find a red shield and we have a matching set. Sidenote finishes up his Aga fight. Will he go down to Hype Cave, maybe? No, he will not. Why does everybody hate Hype Cave, Thoris?
Maybe because recently it's not being very hype. It is usually a very bad cave.
All right, Bungie's going to make the play, though, for sure, right? Definitely. Come on, Bungie.
The more important question, though, is if we're going to spin Modular just to annoy you.
No, he knows. He knows. He was watching the cast yesterday, I'm sure. Nice moth fight. Bungie going to Hype Cave, making the plays. Let's do it. Like I said before, I think it makes a lot of sense to go to Hype Cave first here. Like, it's a very efficient check with being 5 items and everything. And, you can always go right back to the pyramid from saving quitting to Link's house.
And I think Chesame just got a hint there in Thieves Town saying there was a unique item on that boss. Or on a boss of some
Yeah,
form.
on a boss. Not necessarily this one. Hopefully this one, though. Cape in Thieves Town leading to the shovel on Bumper Cave. Fetch quest into fetch quest. Now will Hype Cave pay off though? Let's see. Nothing, and nothing. Alright. Eat your heart out.
So chat, get your ratings out of 10 of how good that Hype Cave was. And if I see anything higher than 5, you're banned.
Wait, how is it even close to 5 though?
I'll give people the benefit of the doubt.
Like you just really like rupees and bombs, I suppose. 5 might be reasonable. So Chisame without the gloves has to go the long way around here. Going down through the conveyor belt room is kind of awkward, but he manages it, no problem.
It's actually surprising the amount of people that walk into Thieves Town and forget that you can actually open that door to the side by killing all the enemies in there.
Bungie also forgets he doesn't have gloves. Taking a bunch of damage though.
Although
They do
it's
have
also
that
looking like
very-
the small key's locked in that big key chest in Thieves Town.
Yeah, actually kind of annoying because like you have the hammer, so you're all prepared to do it. And you don't have the gloves, so you have to go to that room anyway. Only to find out, oh wait, we don't need to. Well, we get a blind script out of Chisame.
El Tigre and Signum's finding the glove simultaneously as they check the brewery hut and Velja Outcast.
Nice. Chisame is doing the blind script. So far, so good. 6 hits. Oh, he missed that last one, though.
It's close enough.
Yeah, he's still on script. He just took damage. And now he's not. There we go. Okay, we got it. That's one of the cool things about the blind script, though, is that even if you only did the first 3 hits correctly, that's already like a great start to the fight.
But like giving us a second bottle with a B in it.
And of course, nobody can check that without completely disrupting their routing. So it might be a while before we see Sick Kid.
Yeah, Draco Falcon, I was kind of surprised to find out that the key can never be on blind either. It was only, I think, last week I found that out.
Yeah, the idea is that if a runner were to take the key from the pot that you used to go upstairs and use it to go downstairs instead and open the way to the big chest, then a key being on blind would mean you can't do anything. You'll never be able to get to blind.
Yeah, you would sock lock for yourself in that dungeon. But you've got a question at that point. It's like, is
Why
that
would you
not
do
just
that?
runner stupidity?
Well, I mean, it might just be unfamiliarity too, right? I mean, it's pretty insane to expect even somebody brand new to the game to find that key in that room and not open the key door in that room. But if it's possible, the randomizer makes sure that you are safe.
I like the notion of just lifting up a pot and going, there's a key. Well, there's a locked door. Nah, it can't be for that, surely.
Yeah, the thing is, like, even if you were like completely unfamiliar with the dungeon, you would have to hit the switch in that room and then leave the room and go downstairs just to find out if there even is a key door down there. Chisame opting to go back to Skull Woods.
Yep, maybe deciding just to finish it off, get it out of the way.
It seems unusual to me that he would make this call, though, because he had already been here and left. And the only thing he found was the cave. I guess like he's planning to get the shovel off Bumper Cave and figured, well, since he's back up here anyway, might as well finish this.
Unless he completely forgot he had Fire Rod at the time.
Yeah, that's also possible. As far as I know, each of our runners is a human being and thus capable of being dumb. You're human, right, Thoris?
Maybe.
Uh-oh. So Big Key on Mothula is actually quite annoying. Chisame really wanted to avoid checking this bridge chest.
Yeah, this check is just out the way and it's kind of annoying to get to.
And he save and quits out. Did he get the glove?
I don't think he did, no. But I think it might be faster to do that than it is to sort of run the way back out of Skullwoods.
I think he's gonna go to Hype Cave. If he's going to Hype Cave, this is very bad. He's going to Hype Cave. Oh no. Okay, so what's happened here for Chisame is that he was doing the checks in Village of Outcasts in the order that he came across them, right? So he did, I guess he did a C-shaped house and then went into Thieves Town. right? Which means that he never went down to the bottom part of Village of Outcasts. So when he left Thieves Town and decided to go north up to Skull Woods, he seems to have forgotten to check, I think it was the brewery that had the gloves.
Yeah, the brewery has the gloves. That little bombable hut in the bottom of Thieves Town. Or, not Thieves Town. Village of Outcasts.
He may be saved by like Mirror on Dig Game or Stumpy, but as of right now, it looks like he's going to lose quite a bit of time trying to get those gloves. If he even recalls that he didn't check that location. He also didn't get the shovel off Bumper Cave, which again is a little odd. Tiger's getting it now though, so we'll probably find out what that is eventually.
Yeah, so Jessamy's heading on towards Stumpy, and Cyclops is currently in the digging game, so we'll get to see what those two checks are.
This mistake is actually one that I have made quite a few times. So my protection against it now is to always check all the checks in Village of Outcasts before going into Thieves Town, just so I can't forget, you know. You spend like 5 minutes in Thieves Town and to remember what you had or hadn't done in Village of Outcasts before and after, it can be kind of hard. Bungie also setting up the blind script. He messes up though. Only 2 hearts. Only 1 heart. Oh my god. He does have a fairy and a cape.
You also have the cape stretch, yeah.
So nothing from Stumpy and Dig Game for Chisame. This is not looking good. I think he might actually go to Palace of Darkness now. Well, he's fluting. I don't know what he's saying. Or he's going to buy a potion. Yeah, he'll buy a potion to sequence break Palace of Darkness, I think.
Yeah, he did release the bee earlier on in Pipe Cave.
Quick sick kid check before he does anything else. Makes sense. Sick kid not helping out though. Now, of course, we can't know if Chisame if he even realizes that he skipped that location. It could be that he skipped the location and is just really hoping that there's nothing there now. Or it could be that he's completely forgotten about it and thinks that there must be progression in pod.
Yeah, it'll be one of those ones where you skip it, you realize you skipped it, and you're like, it will probably be nothing. And unfortunately, in this case, it happens to be something important. That being said, you should never rule out pod, because we have seen some really, really decked out pods in terms of items.
Especially with Lamp in Hand. So if the Bowlock side of pod only has a single key, that means that the rest of pod, except for the boss, is in logic without that bow. So with Lamp in Hand, that's a lot of checks. Sign-up's also going to pod. So if Chisame ends up finding a glove in pod, that's very good news for him because he'll be able to get back to the location that he skipped a lot easier. But he does have to remember that he skipped it. Tiger, however, going up to Catfish with those gloves.
So that was a key on the left side of pod, so it's not bow locked. We can get into the back and double check the rest of these checks.
First item from pod is 10 arrows. And Quake. So that means, so there's only one key in those first 3 chests. That means the rest of the dungeon is bow locked. And it was only those 3 checks I could do. Synubs did not bring a potion. He will be leaving. Chisame will continue for sure.
It was also a very interesting hint, because it said Ethers in Ganon's tower, which means we now have both medallions that could be possible to enter Mire and Turtle Rock.
Yep,
So we don't have to worry
Go-Mode.
about hunting down.
It's actually really nice to get that information before you even have the mitts. There's been many a seed where, man, I'm in go mode if Turtle Rock is just the right medallion, right? But the only way to find out is to go all the way up there.
Yeah, my last SMC3 seed had me hunting for bombos because I needed it to get into the Turtle Rock.
Oh no.
I eventually found it in Pend Ice Palace, and I'm like, nope, just that was like 100% seed at that point.
Bungie finding out the hard way that hookshot doesn't work that well on Gibdos.
No, but that boomerang he has definitely will work.
Bungie is actually doing his best to save as much magic as possible here to make his life on Mothula just a little bit easier. It's not really necessary for him to do this because he does have that tempered sword and a fairy in a bottle. But, you know, safety is king. Better to take a little bit of extra time here than to die.
Yep, despite having that red mail, those spikes in that room will still do full damage to you.
Yes.
Granted, it's only 1 heart, but you've only got 8 hearts here. You need to be careful.
He tried to spin the boss. Gosh darn it!
So Bungie got my memo. That's good.
Oh, you think he's doing it just to mess with me?
No, I'm saying I would do it just to mess with you.
So, public service announcement, guys. Mothula cannot be harmed by spins from the Tempered or the Butter Sword. Chisame is getting a little worried. He's now going to do that Agina check from earlier. He will find something here, but it's not what he wanted. So what can they do that we haven't seen yet? Just a shovel, right?
Yep, so we've got Shovel Hand in.
Oh, Spike Cave.
That's it.
Spike Cave.
Yep, they do have an invincibility item, so they can get through that.
I believe that's where Tiger's going right now. Chisame seems to have run out of options. It looks like he will be heading back to Village of Outcasts the long way. Nope. He just switched. Oh, yeah, he has the hammer. Okay. Well, this is good news for Chisame because it does point to the idea that he did remember something was over there, but he may just be going after Bumper Cave. Bungie getting us a fake powder. while Tiger finds out what is in Spike Cave. It is the Titan's Mitts.
That's a nasty place for the Titans Mitts to be.
Yeah, this is actually really unfortunate for Chisame because that means that a glove was locked behind the glove that he skipped. Okay, he's not going up to Bumper Cave, so I think he did remember. Okay, that's good.
So logically, I think you would have to went to Thieves' Town to get your cape before you could go back through that way. Yep, that's nasty.
Yeah, pretty gross scene. Bungie will get us a shovel check before he goes up to Spike Cave. While Tiger, being our first player with the mitts, showing us Dark Death Mountain.
Yep, taking good advantage of it. Can actually clear out Turtle Rock while he's here.
I wonder if Chisame... I haven't seen Chisame actually check Bumper Cave. Does he know that that shovel's there? A lot of players will wait to check it until they actually have the cape to do it. But he hasn't even checked it, despite having that cape.
I think it's just one of those orphan locations he doesn't really want to go to.
Yeah, it's a really slow check, and now, because of Bungie, we know that it leads to nothing anyway. So, actually saving Chisame time, not doing it.
Yep, Chesme making good use of that. Picking up the first glove and going straight to Spike Cave.
Yeah, this puts him right back on track. Oh, no! Oh, he has a fairy. Never mind. We're fine. We're fine. Stop freaking out, chat.
Panic over.
The bow in Hookshot Cave, though. Let's go.
I would say you were choosing to not touch that Turtle Rock while it was up there.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, they can full clear that. Okay. Oh, that's so cute. Sinub's death sprite is a number. It's a points. It's points from killing the ghost. Okay, this is my new favorite sprite. I really like this Pac-Man sprite. Chisame turning his mitts into mire. Not a bad call here. You do have full access to mire. It is a crystal dungeon.
You would think you would check the mire shed first, though.
Yeah, it's a little rough of a fight. But with Tempered Sword, it's not that bad if you have enough hearts to damage boost through the slime.
He also has the cape to use cape strats on the slime as well, so...
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, definitely won't be too difficult for him.
I wonder if he's planning to use the cape that we won't see Spooky Mire. Meanwhile, Tiger is finishing up Pod. He'll be able to kill the boss while he's here for sure. And then he'll probably mirror over, or not mirror over, but save and quit over to Eastern after and get that second red crystal.
Yeah, it's likely Tiger was counting items. Possibly Helmasaur has an item on him.
I wasn't counting.
Yeah, I find it very difficult to count items, particularly when runners are going through the dungeons, because they'll take like a different route from me than what I used to, and then I'm like,
Right.
okay, I've lost count.
Like, it's hard enough to count when I'm the only one playing, but when you're watching 4 other people.
And then someone just mirrors out and doesn't finish,
Now,
and you're
this
like,
chest I know is
GG.
definitely a small key. So, Tigger, don't. Okay. So, no Spooky Mire from Chisame. Bungie picking up his bombos at Nice Rock Cave. Do we remember? Did we see what the medallion was on Turtle Rock? He didn't even look at it, did he?
ALTTP did look at it, I just didn't catch what it was because it was that quick.
Bungie is now setting up a fake flipper here. I think maybe he doesn't realize that Spike Cave is available. Synapse, however, does make that discovery and is headed up to Spike Cave now. Nice cape strats from Chisame, getting rid of all the little lives, and just, I think it's like 12 swipes with the Tempered Sword to finish the boss. Maybe like 30, I don't know. It's a small key Tigger.
It's boots! Boots on Vitreous!
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. What are those?
Oh, they're the boots.
Yeah, the memers will be happy though.
Oh, right. Yes, what are those?
So if Chesame finds Mirror in here, that would be very interesting. He'd be able to mirror out and just be like, yeah, I can now full clear desert. And doesn't have to worry about them being boots locked.
No such luck, but the boots are pretty nice. I think he's pretty happy. He's got to feel pretty good after that mistake he made earlier. The way it took him so long to get those power gloves. Makes him feel even better though if there's something here behind those boots. Tigger takes a death warp here to get back to that boss pretty quick. Intentional death, you guys. Intentional death.
Kingston was just a full heart container.
Bungie is fluting away from the mountain. I think he forgot about Spike Cave.
It's one of those things. It's like I've very rarely have I ever seen Spike Cave have anything of value.
Yeah, and mitts are a really gross item to be there because typically you don't even think about Spike Cave until you're up there doing Dark Death Mountain already. Chisame is going to check Lumberjack for us now that he has the boots. Nice blind check. It will not be progression though.
Yes, we know it to just be bombs. There be explosives. Speaking of explosives, Signum's opening up Turtle Rock with bombos.
And he's going inside before checking Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny.
Unique item is a mystery mire. So those bits are kind of annoying then, because we had unique item on a boss, and now unique item in Misery Mire. It falls into both those criteria for us.
So Chisame is making his way up to Turtle Rock as well. I would expect him to full clear Turtle Rock and get that bow at a Hookshot Cave. which just puts him in go mode. Wait. Yeah. Yeah, that's go mode.
Well, you'll need somewhere to get into desert, though, so we'll need to find out the Book of the Mirror.
I always forget about desert, so I need book or mirror. Flippin' desert.
Again, it's one of these things where it's like, you're never really used to being not having desert access. So you just automatically assume you have desert access at all times.
And there's the book in the front of Turtle Rock. So Chisame will be Chisame and both Chisame and Synums will be in go mode very shortly. Although Synums doesn't have the information on where the boots are, but it's not necessarily boots locked in desert, and he'll find the boots pretty casually, just full clearing crystal dungeons. I like to imagine that Chisame rolled his eyes when he saw that hint. Really, game? Really? Well, Sign does need the bow for go mode, but it's... I guess I'm just assuming he's going to check Hookshot Cave after Turtle Rock. It wouldn't make sense for him to do anything else, honestly.
Yeah, it's definitely the ability to go to either Hookshot before or after you do Turtle Rock.
It would be a pretty big gamble for him to just not do Hookshot Cave, but it does take time to do Hookshot Cave, and if there's nothing in there, then you save that time by skipping it. The book gives him access to another dungeon, so he might do it, I suppose. It's just, literally insane.
Yep, it's one of those things. You have the Hookshot, so it's 4 checks, and you're already here. You may as well go to them.
Yeah, like skipping Hookshot Cave in Synum's position would be similar to like somebody never doing Kakariko.
I've considered making that play before.
I think like from the seeds I run, maybe like 1 in every 15 has a completely empty Kakariko.
Yeah, I think the last like 10 that I run, Kakariko's had like nothing in it. And it's like, do I just skip it? And then one time I skipped it, it had like 4 things, and I was like, God damn it. It's like, you just feel bad.
Okay, so Chisame finds his book, and from his point of view, he knows that's go mode.
Curious note, we haven't found silvers yet. So likely be silverless Ganon, we'll have to see.
Yeah, silvers are a very nice item to have. But I imagine all of our runners are pretty comfortable with the silverless fight. Chisame opting to skip the big chest. Now this can be a pretty good time save. It's very likely that the key will be in this next chest or on Laser Bridge. But it is also possible that the only available small key is in the big chest and he'll have to like walk back to get to it. On the whole, it's a very safe gamble. But the punish is pretty big.
Yeah, it's one of those just educated risk type things.
Sineb takes a death warp here to get a health refill, I think.
Yeah, you took the safety door.
Thankfully, he did not die while falling down a pit. That causes the game to freak out a little bit. And the key was on Laser Bridge. Chisame is fine.
Yep, not even gonna check the rest, just straight out the way. I got what I need, I'm out of here.
Just to answer chat, no, a key is not guaranteed to be on Laser Bridge. It'd be nice, and it's usually on Laser Bridge, but not always. So skipping the big chest it does have a punish, and the punish is pretty big, but it's really unlikely for that to actually happen.
And we nearly have synchronized Trinex kills. Synchronous is just a tiny bit ahead.
And finally, Bungie does make his way to Spike Cave, where he will get his mitts. Butter Sword.
So I think it's safe to say everyone will be on Gold Sword for Ganon.
Most definitely.
And Signubs looks to be heading towards Hookshot Cave. Good on him. So he'll be getting his bow shortly. So Chesame diving into the desert, so we'll get to see if it's boots locked or not.
Tigger, of course, will be doing Mire first, so like Chisame, he'll have boots when he enters the dungeon already, just in case it is boots lock.
Well, that's a small key, so I don't
maybe
believe it is.
boots locked?
The chances are very slim at this point. Oh, there's the mirror.
So the book is absolutely required. And the dungeon is boots locked.
Is there a worse spot for mirror to be in?
Magic Bat. Right, yeah, Magic Bat mirror would be pretty bad.
I usually find like either in desert or in like Armos of Eastern Palace is usually a bad place for it.
Oh, it's here taking a death.
Did he take the safety door?
No, he's in Mire.
Wrong dungeon.
Yeah,
There is
so
no
I think
safety
what
doors in Mire.
happened was Tiger was pretty low on hearts on his way to the back or to the basement. So he was picking up pots looking for hearts, and in doing so, took extra damage from the spikes on the floor. So it's one of those instances where, like, being in danger puts you more in danger.
You're just trying to be a good gamer, trying to be safe, trying to keep yourself alive, and then it's like, no, we're going to shoot you in the back where you're opening the pot.
So as far as like who's ahead, I think Chisame will end up being in the lead, but it's really hard to tell because they all have different dungeons to go finish. Chisame still has to go back to Eastern and Pod, where Tiger just took a death in Mire and then has to go do Desert.
Yeah, so as much as we say that Signal's in go mode, he's actually missing the boots. So depending on whether or not he goes to Desert or Mire first. Yes, Mr. Asteroid, I think Willard was taking the mic in the SRL.
So the mirror was actually like a really nice find in Mire, or not Mire, but Desert, because now Chisame will be able to pair those two dungeon clears. It's not the biggest difference, but it's pretty helpful. Every little bit counts.
Yeah, it's definitely a nice feeling just to be able to just finish Pod and then mirror into Eastern, or mirror into Eastern, kill off Armos, and then just run through Palace of Darkness.
I usually recommend for people in this situation to do Eastern first, unless you have silver arrows, because you're going to use a bunch of arrows on the Armos fight, and you can always refill those arrows on the way to Helmasaur, where if you do Helmasaur first, then you just finish your second dungeon after having used a bunch of arrows, which might put you in a tough spot going into Gaines Tower. In Rando, though, there's usually arrows in chests while you're looking for the big key, in addition to the few spots that have arrows under pots.
Yeah, there's a lot of pots in Eastern that give you arrows.
Right, there's arrows to refill for Eastern, but the boss is the last thing you do, and that's where you spend most of your arrows. So, like, optimally, you would finish Eastern with 12 arrows left. Which is fine if you're only doing the mimics, but if you also have to do ice armos, you'll be picking like extra pots up looking for arrows in GT.
Yeah, that's true. Bungie, I think, getting a little bit frustrated at those Armos.
Yeah, I think this is mostly just tilt from last locationing Spike Cave. He's had better Armos fights for sure. It can be difficult. It can be very difficult, especially in like a big race like this, where like one little mistake just feels so huge because it's you don't know what everybody else has done, and you just have to remember that everybody else is making mistakes too. Nobody's perfect.
Speaking about our red shield, Helmasaur has it for us.
Unfortunately, the gold sword from Trinex means that we don't have a matching set. Unfortunate.
Baker and will come and chat has asked, can items be placed in unreachable places if not logically required, like flippers and so on? I believe for keys and things, yes, keys can be locked out. So, for example, the small key can be in Hera basement, so you don't have to go down Hera basement. But I believe for the major items, you can get all the major items at all times.
Right. So the way the fill algorithm works is it is completely independent of the goal that you set for the game. Like the items will be filled into locations before anything regarding the goal is ever considered. So the goal of the fill algorithm is so that you can get to every location of the game except for keys that lock themselves. So even if you're doing a pet goal and you only need to do 3 pendant dungeons, the fill algorithm does not care. It is trying to get you everywhere, not just to those pendant dungeons. Although I believe one of the proposed changes for the upcoming update to Randomizer will include a beatable only logic, which would be able to do exactly what you're referring to, with flippers possibly being in Swamp.
Yeah, I have an issue with that name because it's like beatable only. It's like, but surely all seeds are beatable. And it's like, no, that's not. It's not actually what it means. It just means that you only need to access certain locations.
I guess a more descriptive name would be like not entirely or not necessarily full clearable.
Yeah, it's like not 100% mod. There's a lot of conversations around Ocarina of Time regarding the all locations reachable setting and beatable only mode.
Nice top right strat from Chisame. He spends an extra arrow, but 11's gonna be okay. Tiger is doing Pyramid Fairy instead of going to Turtle Rock. That's unfortunate. Makes sense though. He just finished those bow dungeons. He wants to make them worth it.
Unfortunately, didn't get to see what was in the left chest, just to do a little bit of lag.
Well, we know it wasn't progression, so it's be fine. And it's not silver, so we'll be able to see that. Chisame, however, is done. He's got all 7 crystals. He's in go mode. He can kill Ganon. He's headed up to Ganon's Tower. Once he reaches Ganon's Tower, he will have to find the Ganon's Tower Big Key, which can be in one of any 22 locations. And chat is way ahead of me, already guessing locations. If you'd like to guess your pick for where the Ganon's Tower Big Key will be, we'll be following Chisame through the dungeon to see which one it is.
Yes, it is one of our many games we like to play through Link to the Past. The other one being counting
The
blue balls. My brain always gets confused between a Gina and an Aghanim. It's like Agina's in the desert, Aghanim's in the tower.
Yeah, I don't know what Nintendo was thinking. Their names are too similar. Maybe they're less similar in Japanese. And Chisame is going right first. This is a pretty standard routing to check the 2 hope chests first.
Oh, there's that ether the hint was referring to.
No small key means he's forced to go over to the left side. So this will be the hope route. Unless he does something weird. The big
And
key
it's on the torch.
Number 3 was the answer. Did anybody guess 3?
Something Magnus.
Something Magnus. Congratulations. You are smarter than everybody else. Let them know.
Now this is where it's upsetting that we found boots on Vitreous, because now we know that all our runners are going to get those. We don't have that sort of panic realization when you go in and go, it's on the big torch. I don't have it. I don't have boots.
Yeah, I've seen quite a few seats like that. In fact, I think I had one last night where I was in go mode without boots, and then I found like a hint in my last dungeon that told me where the boots were. So I went and grabbed them just in case, only to find out that the boots were required. The torch had the big key.
I think one of the worst seeds that I've seen is you get to GT and you don't have red cane because you didn't have to do Maya or Turtle Rock.
Oh, right.
And you go all left side and you find like the mushroom and the shovel. And then you, it's like the keys on the bit on the right hand side. So you have to leave
those
and find.
Before too.
So Jesme making quick work of the gauntlet.
He's taken quite a bit of damage, but he's done quite a bit of damage too. That butter sword really paying off.
I believe I also just spied a blue goo in his infantry, so he should be okay.
Nice one cycle.
It looks like we have Bungie dipping into Turtle Rock so they'll be getting their book. And that will be their desert access.
And unfortunately for Synubs, he does go into desert before Meyer. So he'll find out it's boots locked and be forced to leave.
Hopefully we should see him flip to 6 and go straight into Meyer. I would imagine Signums would ignore the other boots locations, because at this point he should know the boots are locking him out of go mode.
Right.
So he should just pick up those boots and just mirror straight into the desert again.
Surprised we didn't get a fake powder here from Chisame. I mean, he has the blue potion, so he's fine either way. It's just when he was already low on magic and he has that mushroom in his inventory, it makes sense to do the fake powder there.
Yeah, it's like, why reset to keep the mushroom if you're not going to use it? And there's the flippers.
What a place for those flippers. So confirmed, no runner in the race will get sidetracked by Swamp Palace.
Nope, you have to come out and do flippers now. Do your flipper checks now. Don't waste your time finishing Agatu. Just go to the swamp and do ice battles.
Nice pattern from Aga. It's not bad either. How come my Aga's never look like this? 3 cycles, not bad. This is honestly pretty amazing that Chisame has such a healthy lead after that, I don't know what else to call it, that derp with the gloves. It just goes to show how important execution really is in Rando.
It's also a case of following the logic. It's like, somewhat. In some cases, you just follow the logic because 9 times out of 10, the seed is sort of trying to lead you where you need to be. This has definitely been a particularly fast seed.
Oh yeah, definitely. It was in my tower. So the silvers were in Ganon's tower. Unfortunately, no player is going to find them.
Did Jezime check any of the chests on the way up?
I think he checked all 4, yeah. Oh, trying for that cape spin. It's triple. "12 spins to win. Chisame has done it, putting down the big pig."
Just don't die to the bridge boss.
We joke about that, but
I've seen it happen.
Seen it happen. GG to Chisame.
Get your GGs in chat for Chisame, who has finished with an official SRL time of 1 hour 32 minutes and 8 seconds. And that is, strangely enough, 4th place in the SRL.
Yeah, it's amazing, honestly. Like that mistake he made skipping the brewery was so huge. For him to still finish 4th is just a huge testament to his execution.
Yeah, he's not even that far behind. 1st place was 1 hour 29 minutes and 38 seconds. So you're talking 2.5 minutes. So
yeah, that's usually
really
accounted for by just walking back all the way to Village of Outcasts. So Tiger here is finishing up his last Crystal Dungeon, then he'll be headed to GT soon after Landmo. Bungie, not too far behind, as well as Sign-Ups. Sign-Up's about to get his boots on Vitreous, which will be his go mode item. He'll just have one more dungeon to do. While Bungie needs to go to Mire, get his boots, and then also go to Desert.
Yeah, it's just a bit unfortunate that book will just bait you to go into Desert first. So I believe Chesme is joining us for a quick interview.
Welcome, Chisame. GG. Nice
GG.
finish after the Power Glove fiasco.
Yep,
Oh.
technical difficulties.
Hello, Chisame, can you hear us? Well, while we're waiting for Chisame to sort out the audio issues.
Through the stream.
You can hear me through the stream? Okay, so we can talk to Chisame just with like a 20-second delay or so. GG's, Chisame.
Yep, GG's.
I imagine you're pretty proud of that finish after what happened with the Power Gloves.
I had thought I cleared out Vu before going to Skullwood's Fall.
Yeah, it's doing Thieves Town before you check all
Sort
three
of
of
a
those.
panic moment there.
It can be pretty hard to remember. But you got it done though. You found your way back there eventually, and still finished 4th overall. Like it's actually quite impressive. I feel like for most runners who skipped that location, they would have lost a lot more time than you did.
Yeah, I definitely abandoned that location. I think I had that and Eastern left.
I mean, yeah, it was even more than just the walk back to Village of Outcasts that was a time loss. Like, you also went to the back of escape the long way. Like, that's all together, you probably lost several minutes just from skipping that one single location. So to still only finish like 3 minutes behind first place, like this was a real testament to your execution throughout the run.
Yeah, I think I think clearing everything before you get gloves leaves you with like very little left. And it just comes down to hammering out what's left, knowing that, well, we didn't know boots were on Vidi, but knowing that a unique was on the boss. And then I had to make hard gambles, you know, not finishing up Meyer, assuming that TR probably had the bow because there wasn't really much left, and we needed some sort of access into desert.
Yeah, everything just kind of worked out at the end there. If you have any more thoughts on the seed, we'd love to hear them. I feel like the seed was pretty straightforward. Like, there wasn't really a lot to get sidetracked by. It wasn't very
Yeah, the seed creating
honestly.
city straight.
It was just one of those seeds where, like, if you just go to the Crystal Dungeons, like, the game suddenly ends.
Okay. Oh, I hope the chat enjoyed where those flippers were, so you couldn't get baited into Ice Palace or Swamp.
Right. Oh, I see. That's where you saved all your time. The menu. Sub 2 menu time. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. I think a lot of people underestimate how much time you can save via menu.
Yeah, it's very dependent on the seed itself. Like if you find like the mirror and the flute really early, you're typically gonna have a much higher menu time. But most seeds, like a very experienced runner could typically get under 3 minutes. Our other 3 runners are all on track to taking on the pig themselves. Tiger going up the gauntlet. He just finished it, making his way up to Aga 2. Sign Nubs just starting his gauntlet, and Bungie on his way to get his go mode boots.
Collection rate of only 126 out of 216. That's really good.
Yeah, I think we would call this a jet seed if Aga wasn't required.
And Secret taking down Aghanim too.
Yeah, nice 3-cycle fight as well for him. Although, like Chisume, he's going to start this Ganon fight with not that many hearts. He does have red mail, so it's not that scary. But it doesn't take that big of a mistake to suddenly die on Ganon.
Yeah, everything in Ganon hearts. Those fire bats and also the hugging Ganon was particularly a bad choice.
I think the bats do 4, 3, 2 hearts.
Yep.
And of course, Ganon does twice as much. Oh, there's one bat. Alright, he's gonna drink his potion. No, he's got it. He's fine. Potion not required.
Yeah, potential to take damage out in this phase should be very minimal.
Seeker's going for lamp strats on Silverless. This is a lot safer than doing the triples, but it does cost an extra cycle. But it's only 1 cycle, not a huge deal. I really wish he'd drink the potion though. It's making me nervous.
He's just doing beep shots, he'll be fine.
He's got it. He's got it.
See, no reason to panic.
GG's to Tigger.
Get your GGs in chat for L2, who's finished with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 45 minutes, and 47 seconds.
That puts him 23rd overall in the whole race. Right about halfway in the middle.
Yes, because we do have, I believe it was 45 runners at the start of this race.
46 even. Pretty big race for an afternoon daily. Although I suppose it's not the afternoon for everybody.
So we've got Bungie just finishing off Meyer and Signum's finishing off Agatu, deciding to take that blue goo to keep himself alive. Because he went down to half a heart.
He was in a little trouble. He's got it. He's got it. Yeah, we switched over to Bungie's audio. It's just a little quieter than Tigger's was.
Yes, it is indeed the 4th of July for America, so they'll be celebrating their Independence Day.
Well, I think it's 4th of July for everybody, isn't it?
No, just another day of summer for me.
Oh, belated Canada Day, of course, of course. Bungie clearing up Vitreous. He gets his boots. That is his go mode. Quick desert dive and then off to GT. Signups, however, is fighting Ganon right this second.
Yes, Metroid, it may actually be the 5th of July for some people.
Time zones are hard.
Yeah, time zones suck. That's true. It's still only 10 to 9 at night. We still got a couple hours left till the 4th of July. The joys of being in Scotland.
Are there multiple time zones in Scotland?
No, just the one.
There's 4 time zones I have to worry about in America, and I cannot keep them straight to save my life. And I'm like right in the middle. Nobody ever talks about Central Time Zone. It's always times are always represented in either Eastern or Pacific, and I have to do the math every single time.
Yeah, I need to do the math too. It's like I can never remember which side is which further behind or not. If I remember right, Eastern's 5 and Pacific is about 8, maybe more.
That sounds right. GG to Sign Nubs, taking down that pig. Bacon, it's what's for dinner.
So get your GGs in chat for sign-ups. We finish these with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 50 minutes and 8 seconds. So as Bungie makes their way through desert to pick up their final crystal, please remember to follow our runners. Because what they do is not exactly the easiest thing to put yourself out here on stream and have everyone watching you and criticizing you for, oh, you could have did this, or oh, you should have done that.
Yeah, I don't even know why that one guy, he didn't even check the brewery to get those power gloves. What a silly person. I don't think Chisame is listening to me. Whatever.
Stare.
No, but it is true. It's really big of these guys to put themselves out there and volunteer to be restreamed in front of all you happy people out there on the internet world. So do show them some love. Go to their channels and click that follow button.
Yes, because without them, we wouldn't have a race.
And we welcome Synubs to the voice chat. How you doing? GG.
Doing okay.
GD Sidums. What did you think of that, Seed?
I mean, I guess if I had gone to Meyer instead of Turtle Rock first, since we had that hint that Ether was in GT, knew one of those two had to be going forward. But then I kind of didn't think if I would need the boots or not.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate.
Oh well, that's pretty much what I expect anymore.
Well, I mean, it's rando being rando, right? I mean, it's very possible that the routing you make could have been the right one.
I just used to finding the bow in Turtle Rock, so that's my first inclination if I have access to it anymore. Other than that, it was, I guess, relatively straightforward.
Yeah, I think there was very little like just out of the way, and the things that were out of the way, like the mitts and Spike Cave, were items that would bottleneck you so hard that everybody would end up doing it anyway.
Yeah, there weren't many places left to check when you got to that. Unfortunately, I decided to go finish Skull Woods first.
Yeah, it's not a crazy call. I imagine most people end up doing stuff like that.
Yeah, well, figured I had that, and then I could grab the shovel, see where that took me. And then I never ended up using it.
I believe it just led to 10 arrows, so it's a good call to not follow it. But yeah, I think all of our runners on the restream took the dive into Skullwoods and fully cleared it.
Well, we had that hint that said a boss had a unique item, so at that point, that seemed like the best call.
Yeah, definitely most likely to be the boots that laid in the seed. Bungie scared me. So if you mirror on the same frame, you catch the big key after bonking it off the torch like that, it breaks your game. So every time I see somebody mirror right after getting the big key off the torch, it always scares me just a little bit.
Yeah, Link to the Past is not a perfect game. It is a bit broken.
Bungie tried going the damageless route through that crystal switch room, but ended up taking a bunch of damage anyway. A little unfortunate. This Mimic is not agreeing with him. He's got it. He's got it. There we go. Do we not have audio from Bungie stream? Or have I gone deaf?
No, I don't hear it either.
Okay, I'm not deaf. Thank God. Yeah, on the whole, though, this is a pretty straightforward seed. There was very little to sidetrack you. Like the biggest contender for like sidetracking is like finding the book and going into desert before Mire.
Yeah, I was afraid that those boots were going to be in the ones I skipped in pod,
Right.
because I was thinking go mode, and I was like, oh yeah, I gotta go check desert and see if that's. So I was almost sure, but thankfully that didn't happen. So
Yeah, it can be a little stressful to skip locations like that until you absolutely know for sure.
Those ice rooms, everyone makes them look so easy.
Bungie's always like frames away from setting up major glitches. It's scaring me. He almost drank that potion while going through a transition.
And as Bungie finishes up the gauntlet, in case any of you have not quite had enough of your Link to the Past randomizer races, there's another race tonight at 9 PM Eastern Time. And of course, there's always the races tomorrow.
I think the one tonight is timed one hit KO.
It is indeed.
So-
It's going to be very interesting.
Fun.
and our races tomorrow are an open and a standard. So back to some sort of normality for me.
Yeah, the timed one hit KO race can be pretty daunting. So I imagine we'll see only the bravest or most foolhardy runners taking part. Consequently, I will be one of those runners, but I'm not sure which category I fall into.
It's fun. We need one-hit knockout Triforce for a daily again. Those are always fun to play. And anyway, I'm going to take off. Thanks everybody for watching, and thanks for commentating and stuff.
Our pleasure. Thank you so much for taking part and being on the restream.
Yep, no problem. Hope everyone has a great day.
GG's. Mini Helmas, please. We just want Bungie to finish. Why do you not like him?
See, I don't understand why that room in Thieves Town is called the Hellway, because that is more of a Hellway.
It's just easier to dash through, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose just cape and dash and you'll be fine.
And I believe Bungie already drank his potion. I'm not sure if he has another one, though.
I believe he drank both his potions, so I don't think he has any left.
Oh, down to half a heart. Oh no. Careful, careful. Don't blue ball me. Oh. That is so unfortunate.
That's not where you want to see a death.
And it does look like Bungie is opting to forfeit from this position. I do not blame him. That is incredibly frustrating to die at the very top of the tower. Welcome, Bungie, to the voice chat. Sorry, I'm so sorry that happened to you.
Oh, I feel it in my soul.
The pain. The
Also-
pain.
Hashtag screw Spike Cave.
Right.
Actually, screw Spike Cave.
Yeah, it's a pretty uncomfortable place for the mids to be. Seeing as how, like, normally you don't even do Spike Cave until you already have Dark Death Mountain.
Yeah, that was the worst. I wanted to push through, but that death right there is like, no, I'm not making you guys watch me climb the tower again.
We would do it. We don't mind.
No, it's a holiday for a lot of us, and I don't know, it was fun nonetheless.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, outside of Spike Cave, though, I mean, it was a pretty straightforward seed, right? Like, everything just seemed to be, like, all in the way a little bit.
It's just that the friggin' myths trolled me once again. Like the last time I was on a restream, the myths were in Cave 45, and I lost location of those. The myths and I just do not get along.
Well,
Also,
with all... Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna say shoutouts to Flippers and Validation Chest.
Oh yeah, it's pretty silly.
I got out of I got done with Turtle Rock. I was heading toward Turtle Rock. I'm like, I swear to God, if I find Flippers in here, it's over. I'm like, please, no Flippers. That opens up 2 pendants I do not want to play in.
Right.
Uh,
Well, I think with all 4 of our runners now completed, I think we're about ready to wrap it up. What do you say, Thoris?
Yep, it's nice to have quite a jet seed on us, considering.
well, for the people that are good, maybe.
I don't think you really did anything like wrong, right? Like it wasn't necessarily had to be in Spike Cave.
Well, I was down to that was pretty much where I was down to when I found it. But thank you to trackers and restreamers and you two on comms. I'll have to watch this back sometime.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you so much to Bungie, Tiger, Signnubs, and Chisame for being our restream runners. And thank you to the chat for hanging out. We wouldn't do this if you weren't here. Well, I might. But, it's better with you guys here. I think that'll be it for us.
Koi, you would do it if there was no one here, because you just want to be able to solo calm at least once.
They won't let me do it.
I've done it. I've done it back to back with the second one being solo comms. It's strainful but fun.
I'd miss everything, and it would mostly just be me like being silly, but it would be fun for sure.
Well, thankfully, it was 1v1. If it's a 4-person race, good luck.
All right, guys. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Stay tuned for more speed gaming fun on the Speed Gaming network of channels. But that's going to be it for us today. Have a good day.
Thank you to everyone. Enjoy your celebrations.
Bye-bye.